Authorized user. What is the good and the bad of getting that trade line on your credit report? We're going to talk about it today in this video. Hi, and thank you for tuning in to Starr Knows Credit. On this channel, we talk personal and business credit. We're going to do everything that's going to help us level up and get the bag. So thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here at the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. And to all my returning subscribers, I sure do appreciate all the love. Thank you again. So without further ado, we're going to get into today's video. So what is the good and the bad about being an authorized user on somebody's credit card? So if you don't know what an authorized user is, that means you know somebody that has a credit card, and because you may not have credit or you're trying to rebuild your credit, you decided to ask, can you be on their card as an authorized user? So it's going to become a trade line on your credit report. So that means you didn't have to apply for the credit card. You did not have to get that hard pull for the credit card. All you had to do was provide your name and your social security number and sometimes birthday to be added as an authorized user on that person's credit card. So let's talk about what's the good and the bad about doing this. All right, so the good thing about doing that as a trade line is, as I was saying just now, you didn't have to get the hard pull for it, and you didn't have to fill out any application or anything. It was just easy as peasy as you just giving up a little bit of information. Another good thing about it is you will get that reported on your credit report, as I said. Now, bad thing about that, or a potentially bad thing about that, is you only want to do it with someone that you know and you trust that has had an excellent credit report. And I mean with that card. You want somebody that's had an excellent credit report with that card. That means that if they had on-time payments, never been late, keep their card utilization down under 30%. Under 10% is better. Y'all know what I always say. Under 10% is better. Between 0 and 2% and 2 and 4% is the sweet spot. So you want somebody that is being very responsible with their card, paying their card back off. Like I said, maybe just a little bit of credit card utilization, and probably has had the card at least 2 years. So they've had at least 2 years worth of history reporting on that card. That's somebody that you would want to be an authorized user on their card with. Now, somebody that you wouldn't want to be an authorized user with is somebody that has everything opposite of what I just said. They've had late payments. They've maxed the card out. They got credit utilization over 30%. They ride around, with that, carrying a balance that's really too high towards the credit limit. That's what I mean by credit utilization. And that is not good. So you do not want to inherit that, because whatever they got going on with their card, good or bad, is what you're going to inherit, good or bad. Okay, so you got to just make sure that whoever you're signing on with when you're doing this as a trade line, that they're giving you some good history. Now, this is what I did for my son. My son turned 18 years old. I went ahead and added him as an authorized user on a credit card that I've had at that time. It was probably like maybe 8 years at that point. Okay, so adding him onto a trade line that old helped to build his credit, very fast. And then by the time he was 18 at the time. By the time he was 20 and he was getting ready to go for his first apartment, he was able to get it without him having to put anything down for his utilities or a deposit for his apartment. So those things right there are really helpful, especially if you got a teenager that's about to graduate from high school or could be about to go on their own or going off to college. This could be a good thing if you have a credit card that you can add them on as an authorized user, as long as the credit card is in good standing. Now, some people will add their teenagers onto a card at the age of 16. And that way, by the time they're 18, they've already had at least 2 years of credit history on their report. So I'm not opposed to that. Anything younger than that, I don't think is necessary, but 16 is a good age, because like I said, by the time they're 18, then they'll have 2 years worth of good credit history, as long as the credit card is in good standing. All right, so that's the good things about being on a authorized user. How about if you give somebody an authorized user and a trade line on your credit card, and you actually give them the card? Well, that can be a hiccup for you, because if you actually give them the card, you definitely want to trust them, because they could potentially run the card up on you, and that could affect your credit utilization, especially if they're young like my son. And if you give it to a younger person, they may not understand how credit cards work, and they may go out and max the card out the first day you give it to them. Okay, so you got to make sure that whoever that you are going on as a Tradeline, as an authorized user, or if you're going on somebody's card as an authorized user, that everybody's responsible, because everybody is a part of that. So it's kind of like when you're an authorized user, it's just like having like a joint bank account. You want to know what the other person is doing on the card. Now, as far as my son was concerned, he didn't need the card, so I didn't give him the card. So that wasn't an issue for us. When he got the card, I just put it in a drawer. So at some point, if he does need it or something like that, then I could. But I think it's best that once you get added as a authorized user, and if you are over 18, then it's time for you to start trying to get some trade lines of your own at that point, because now the door is open for you, because you do have something reporting. So if you have to start off with a small, starter card, or maybe a secured card, either way, that authorized card should have gotten your foot in the door. One other caveat about being an authorized user. Now, say if you're 18 years old and you get your sweet grandmother or grandfather or somebody older to put you on their card. Now, say if they had a credit card for 30 or 40 years. Now, you got to understand, if you're only 18, there's no way you could have had a credit card history for 30 or 40 years, because you wouldn't even thought of that long, okay? So sometimes you want to see how long have they had the actual credit card, and does it make sense to the age of the person that you are actually putting as an authorized user? Because there has been people that I have talked to that said that, that they became an authorized user on a card, and when they went to go get a home or try to get a mortgage, whatever, because of their age and the age of the person that put them on their card, they was looking kind of fishy at them, because it's like, there's no way you've had a trade line that old and you're not that old, so it doesn't make sense. So you have to make it make sense to, when they say the math ain't mathing, okay? So make sure that the math is mathing when you add someone to a card. Another thing is, and this is a bad thing that I've kind of seen going around, is people selling their trade line, as far as selling a spot as an authorized user on their credit card. You do not ever want to do that, guys. I know there's a lot of information on this YouTube space. I mean, y'all looking at me, and I know there's a ton of other financial channels out here, and some are good and some are bad, and I don't want y'all to get caught up in some of the bad. You don't want to do that, because one, you don't know who you're getting on as far as that card, and two, if they're selling it to you, then they're probably selling it to other people as well. So how many people are authorized users on that one card? You see what I'm saying? So you want to be careful about that, because credit card companies are not crazy. If they see a bunch of people being an authorized user on one trade line, or say like me, I have like 3 or 4 Capital One cards, and I'm adding all these different people as trade lines on all my different cards, and different last names and all that type of stuff. Those are red flag city, and there is nothing stopping the credit card company from shutting your cards down. They can close your cards, they can decrease your limits, they can do all that stuff without your knowledge. So please understand that even though you got approved for a card and you have a card, it is not your property, because it is not your money, and they can close those cards at any time. So be very careful who you are adding to your card as an authorized user, and who you're being added on as an authorized user, because you do not want any hiccups. Because if that person, say if you did buy a trade line, and that person say got caught about doing it, and the credit card company shut their card down, well, guess what? Now yours is going to be shut down as well. But on your credit report, and just like the person who you bought the trade line from, it's going to say closed by the credit grantor. Okay, so that means that every time somebody looks at your credit report, now you have that on your credit report saying that the credit card grantor closed the card, and not you as the customer that closed the card. So every time now going forward that you apply for credit, and they see that on your credit report as a closed account that was closed by the credit grantor, now there can be questions. Okay, there could be questions that the next credit card person or the next loan person may ask you, well, why was this credit card closed? Why did the credit card company close this card? Okay. And you are listed on there as an authorized user. So you just want to be careful with those type of things. You don't want something to potentially be a negative that's supposed to be a positive. One thing that I preach on my channel is getting ready and staying ready with your credit. So hopefully you guys have already been to my website at starrknowscredit.com and y'all have clicked on the credit ready course information. Some of you guys have already emailed me about being on the VIP list, but now you can actually go on my website and check out the credit ready course information. There's a YouTube link on that page right now, and it will tell you everything that you need to know about what you can expect in the credit ready program. And I hope you guys like my t-shirt where it says excellent finance equals excellent credit, because that's what we talk about, and that's what I'm going to be teaching y'all about, getting ready and staying ready with your credit. We are making sure that we are ready and staying ready, so whenever it is that you need to get things, when you want to get a house in the next year or two, or you want looking at trying to get a better car, or whatever it is that you got your eyes set on and you trying to get yourself ready for credit, that's what the program is about. So I hope you guys check it out, and I'm also leave some links in the description below. If you want to book a one-on-one consultation with me, you can also go on my website and click on the work with me link, and there you can access my calendar to book a one-on-one consultation with me if you'd like to chat with me. I really do appreciate all the love and the support, and if I have talked to you recently, please make sure that y'all are leaving me some shout outs in the comments, giving me some testimonials so other people know that they can trust me in this space. All right, I appreciate you as always, and I'll tell you, I will see you in the next video. Peace, peace, peace. Much love to you.